You're watching the AI Report. Great show today, startups, regulation, and another step closer to curing cancer. Let's get into it. Mom, look, we're in the news. A research finds that there's a surge in AI startups in Southeast Europe. Really? Where is it? I can't see it. No, but seriously, I'm probably a little isolated from my surroundings here because I'm in a content creation mode. Turns out there are a lot of new startups in the region when it comes to AI, particularly in Romania. Okay, good. I've always been a little surprised about the lack of major success stories from this region. There are some really smart people here. I'm glad to hear something is going on in the AI field here. Next, the Onco MBC is an AI model that can predict where a patient's cancer arose, which can be very difficult in a small but significant number of cases. This will enable doctors to craft targeted treatments even for cancers that have been proven to be difficult to treat in the past. We talked about this yesterday as well. Every day there seems to be a new step forward towards treating or curing cancer. This is brilliant. Okay, let's see what big tech is up to. Google is adding a grammar check feature powered by AI, of course. You can now type in a sentence in Google, enter a full stop at the end, and then type grammar check. The results will either include a sentence with fixed grammar or a green checkmark congratulating you on your mad spelling skills. Yeah, I don't know, I think grammar is actually dying. Have you seen how these young kids are typing these days? They're desecrating grammar on purpose, and they seem to enjoy it even. Anyway, a nice little feature from Google. Always good to see a trillion-dollar company do a barely useful thing. Next, Amazon books are becoming a nightmare, thanks to AI mostly. Legions of spammers create low-quality books with AI and publish them under the same or similar names as more established authors. This is what happened to author Jane Friedman, who has a brand in the self-publishing field. Spammers simply write AI garbage book in the same field and publish them on an account with the same name as hers. It seems like technically somehow this isn't illegal or prohibited by current Amazon terms, and there's not much she can do right now. Amazon doesn't seem to be too interested in addressing the issue for now. I'm pretty sure they will do something about this at some point, which is the only reason why I haven't tried this jig myself. Nah, I'm kidding. I gave up on short-term schemes a long time ago. They're not really that profitable. You're much better off building a real long-term business and brand anyway, but this hurts real publishers like Jane Friedman and the readers as well. I hope Amazon at least tries to address this. Moving on, Meta terminates the AI project that works on protein folding and will only focus on commercial AI. Oh, so they are a greedy, power-hungry corporation that only cares about profits after all. How surprising. No, but seriously, this is a part of the layoffs at Meta that have been going on for a while. It seems like they may be a bit strapped for cash right now. Cutting luxury expenses and passion projects like this is the first sign of that usually. Next, we talked about the scary change of terms from Zoom yesterday and how they plan to use the meeting recordings to train their AIs without giving users the ability to opt out. It seems like they faced some backlash over that and now will require user consent. That was quick. Team privacy won this battle. That doesn't happen too often. It's good to see it happen every now and then. Moving on, SEC chairman and poster child for midlife crisis, Gary Gensler, offers a vague theory on how AI can be harmful to financial systems. It has something to do with all of the investors relying on the same foundational models. He calls it herding. Dude, I'm trying to avoid speaking ill of people too much. I'm really working on that, but I seriously think that I don't like this guy. He's so trigger happy when it comes to regulating new technology. He already kind of ruined crypto, and now he'll probably try to do the same with AI. And this is the US system we're talking about. What's with all this regulation? Investors are adults. They should know what they're getting themselves into. And falling for a few scams is not the worst thing that can happen to you. Maybe you'll learn something. Maybe you will finally learn to read and research and not be insanely greedy and blind when investing into something. I get it. The SEC's job is to protect investors, but at some point the protection becomes so strict that it doesn't make it fun for the rest of the kids to play anymore. All I'm saying is, live a little, Gary. Have some fun. Let people invest more liberally. It's better for their personal growth in the long run anyway. And finally, while we're talking regulation, Matteo Wang from The Atlantic offers 5 ways for government to regulate AI after discussing the subject with a number of experts. They include: number 1, mandating that AI tools undergo third-party testing to ensure that they meet agreed-upon metrics of bias, accuracy, and interpretability. Number 2, there's no real need for a dedicated body for regulating AI, since most of the existing laws might work well. This body would be vulnerable to regulatory capture. Instead, existing regulatory bodies need to be staffed with AI experts or retrained on AI matters. Number 3, government itself should invest in AI and have specific requirements that the companies seeking investment should meet, thus creating a form of a regulatory framework. Number 4, companies should provide ways to watermark AI-generated content. And number 5, content creators should have ways to not allow AIs to be trained on their content. Okay, I'm gonna be honest with you here. I'm kinda going back and forth a bit on how much AI should be regulated. These technologies can be misused or dangerous, and maybe governments shouldn't sleep on this entirely. They should probably do something, although most of the work should be around big companies and even other governments maybe, and not the little guy. Ultimately, I think the responsibility falls on the shoulder of the individual. We've had the internet for decades now. We should know by this point that we should always take everything with a grain of salt, and that trust must be earned the hard way, and that there's no such thing as a free lunch, and that's the way it is. That was the AI Report. Like and subscribe if you want to become a responsible and rugged individual, and I will see you tomorrow.